In this country, you can choose to pay a huge amount of your salary to them, or you can maybe choose to die. And no, I'm not talking about any kind of taxes or the IRS. I'm talking about the healthcare sector of this country. According to CNBC, the average American spends $5,000 per person a year only in healthcare. How many of you have a big 4 or 5 family member and are required to pay a humongous amount each month to companies like Progressive, United Health, Florida Health Insurance, and so many other companies that offer rates that are just ridiculous compared to the service they offer? According to Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, the healthcare sector represents the 18% of America's gross domestic product, and 44 million Americans do not have coverage. When the truth is that we are a country that is advanced, that has all kinds of resources to exploit and get money out of them. A country as successful at economic activities such as the United States should not have its citizens paying such an amount of money in order to acquire one of the most basic rights and one of the most basic needs of humans. So many first world countries like Norway, Sweden, Austria, so many that are wealthy and are internationally recognized for being highly successful, provide a public healthcare system to every single one of their citizens and guarantee a medical attention of great quality. Now, I'm not suggesting that our government should provide healthcare to us, to 300 million citizens, because I actually think that this would be a mess. But is it logical that such a wealthy country like the United States is, not only in money but in many resources, has the pockets of its citizens hurting the way they do? I understand, it's a big part of the economy. But is this really something that we can't replace? There is really no other sources in this huge country that can satisfy the economic impact of healthcare just as much as it does. What Americans need is simple. Stop paying skyrocketing rates for our service. Of course, we have Obamacare, which is an organism that helps us millions of Americans afford healthcare. But I don't think that this help is enough. Isn't it normal that each person in this country still pays an average of $5,000 to be covered? Even when the average income is $59,000 according to the US Census Bureau. And these are not even the best coverage plans. These are the ones that have somewhat good coverage, but they're still lacking some aspects, maybe dental, maybe vision. That means that the average family of 4 can pay up to 34% of their income if they don't want to die from a curable disease or some kind of car accident. A solution, you say? You're going to tell me that this country doesn't have money to expand a program like Obamacare? Or to create an organism to help lower the costs of health insurance even more? Don't you think that our government is being selfish to us? That is preventing us from obtaining all the benefits from a successful economy? I believe in a country in which no mother has to cry or pray to their God only because they have no money to pay for an appendectomy or a surgery because their son fractured their knee. A country in which we can all afford to get the medical attention that is necessary for us to feel okay. A country in which having health coverage is not a luxury, it's not for the rich, and where we all get to enjoy the benefits. There are campaigns and protests all over town about this issue, and I'm 100% sure that at least once in your life you have complained about the same issue I'm complaining today. Now I ask, why don't you stand for what you believe, for what you think is right? Why don't you go to just some of these protests like I do and defend your children's or your parents' right to live? What's preventing you from going and defending the pockets that are bleeding? If you want a real change, I'd try to get out of here today, go home, drink some water, and wake up the next day to start defending for what we believe. Thank you for your attention.